Hey guys, this is Dim Sum StarCraft, and I am back with another game of Hux. As this game will be featuring Huck, playing as Protoss as usual, and his opponent will be the Blue Terran NaDa. And if any of you guys know, NaDa is a very top Korean player. So we'll see how exciting this game will get. Hopefully, it will be just as good as the last few games I've casted. And we are spawning on Lost Temple, and Lost Temple is usually a map more favored towards Terran, even Protoss as well, especially if against Zerg. Just because if you play Zerg on this map, and since Zerg likes to go their fast expansion, the Terran can just drop siege tanks, or even Thors to take out the hatchery, which is very difficult for Zerg to defend. And looks like we have some conversation between this NaDa and Huck is wondering if this NaDa is fake or the real NaDa, and it doesn't seem like NaDa understand the English too well, and he just says okay. So we'll see if this is actually the real NaDa or the fake NaDa. And Huck is just explaining to this Blue Terran that he knows the real NaDa, so he is asking if he is actually the blue NaDa, and we can determine by the game and see if he's actually the real NaDa. So Huck is going very standard Protoss play. He is chrono boosting out his probes, and looks like there's going to be a pylon back here. So either Huck is trying to put the pylon there just for scouting purposes, some map control here, make sure NaDa doesn't do any early drop or anything, or Huck could be hiding his tech in the back. And NaDa here has scouted Huck in the right direction. If you don't scout your opponent in the right direction, it could take a very long time for you to actually get into your base, since you have to travel all the way around the map. And it looks like that's what Huck did. Huck went all the way around the map before he finally scouted the right position for NaDa. And NaDa already had his one Marine out chasing this one probe right here, and looks like Huck is just scouting around. Doesn't look like NaDa is pulling anything. And here goes the second barracks. Just after Huck probes leaves the Terran base, NaDa decides to throw down second barracks. So that NaDa didn't throw down this early second barracks just so that Huck doesn't see it, and Huck can't tell if he's going to do the two barracks and do a hard push right there. But it looks like NaDa will be doing a two barracks push with the tech lab right here and researching concussive shell. So we'll be oh no, we don't, we actually see Reaper play right here. This Reaper play is very uncommon these days, just because it takes a very long time to bring out Reapers nowadays. And so we'll see what NaDa decides to do with this one Reaper. But I do like this Reaper play just because this one Reaper can give you really good early scouting, since the Reaper can hop on top of cliff and down a cliff, and it's very annoying if you have a Reaper just in your base flying around, or just hovering around, I guess, since it's more like a jetpack. And look at this probe just dancing right here, going back and forth. Oh, good old Huck and his little creative ways of scouting or placing a unit. And Huck is scouting with his stalker right here, just to make sure that NaDa doesn't have any weird structures or some kind of proxy. But NaDa doesn't seem like he's going any kind of proxy. And this Reaper almost died right here. He is just living on the edge right now with 12 life, and just hopping around and just checking. And it looks like he's just gonna use this Reaper to scout and nothing else. And since Huck knows the Terran player is not pushing out early because he saw that Reaper, Huck is getting his expansion very early. And NaDa is not expanding. NaDa is building a bunker and still pumping out, and still only has 2 racks, and just pumping out Marines and Marauders at the moment. And he scans Huck and sees the robotics facility, so he knows that Huck will be going 2 gate into Robo, and most likely Huck will have his expansion up. So NaDa knows he is going to be behind, and he will definitely have to either expand himself or do a timing push right when this nexus is about to finish or close to finishing, he should push out, where Huck will not have enough units to usually defend against this timing push. But we'll see what NaDa does. And it looks like this NaDa is really not playing very aggressive. So we'll see. And it looks like Huck is going to make the first move right now. He is going to be pushing out with 2 Stalkers, 1 Zealot, and 5 Sentries. And if Huck can force field this ramp right here, he's going to kill. But no, he doesn't. And NaDa will escape with his units. And his units is I think NaDa will not be pushing out until he has his stim pack, which he is researching at the moment right now. Let's check out the worker count. Huck has 35 probes and NaDa only has 26 SCVs. So Huck is going to be in the lead for his worker count. And as you can see, Huck is about 200 above his opponent for his income, and which will give Huck a big advantage, especially since NaDa only has 2 barracks at the moment. And he's finally getting his factory right now, and Huck already has his 4 gay out, and he is researching his his observer right here, so just to scout it out and see what NaDa exactly is doing. Actually, Huck already has his first probe out, so he's got 2 probes on the field, and Huck sees exactly where NaDa is going, so NaDa will not be able to surprise Huck with anything. And it seems like NaDa knows this this observer is around this area. He probably saw the little blur thing, and yes, he does, and he scans and kills that observer right there. So Huck loses that observer, which is pretty expensive to make, pretty gas intensive. If Huck is not careful, he can scan. Oh, never mind, he does not have enough energy to scan, so NaDa decides to move out with just a bunch of Marines and Marauders, and Huck is gathering his forces right in the middle with, let's see, with 6 Stalkers, 5 Zealots, and 5 Sentry. And these 5 Sentry are, let's see, 2 of them are a half energy, and 3 of them are almost on full energy, so they can have a lot of force field down against this army. If NaDa's not careful, if Huck can separate this army in half, Huck will definitely win this battle for sure. And you can see right now, Huck is spreading his army to this in a concave formation right now, so when NaDa moves out, Huck can have a concave formation and separate the army with his sentry, which will give Huck a huge advantage. And oh man, this is not looking good for NaDa. NaDa army is definitely not big enough. And here comes the engagement right now. We have the Guardian Shield going down, and a Ghost using EMP. I did not see that one coming, but as you can see right there, Huck has a very good concave on NaDa's army, but it looks like NaDa will have enough army to push back Huck's army, and it will kill all of Huck's army. Man, these Marauders are very powerful against the Protoss Gateway units. So we'll see what Huck decides to do. Huck is on the defense right now. He's only got 4 Stalkers, but here comes the Colossus, and this Colossus will have high ground advantage. And you can see Huck is throwing down a few cannons on the ledge right here, just to make sure that these Marauders don't get advantage and snipe the Colossus. But with this medevac on the field, Huck can definitely and NaDa snipes the Colossus right there, and Huck will have to pull off the probes to defend against this. And these Marauders are giving Huck a very hard time. And Huck plays very wisely and snipes that medevac right there, so make sure that Marauders can't get healed. And we have probes coming off the line with Stalkers again, but NaDa is reinforcing his army very quickly. He's got three racks right now, 3 barracks and 1 starport. So he's dual pumping out the medvacs right now with the reactor attachment. And Huck has 1 more Colossus right here. The thermal lance just finished. Oh, it's not finished yet. So and Huck is being very careful not to expose his Colossus on the low ground. Otherwise, these Marauders can stim up and snipe this Colossus extremely fast. And Huck has all these Stalkers on the cliff, and Huck sees exactly what NaDa has right now, and NaDa is very smart, moving his factory towards Huck, and this factory is pretty much just a throwaway, like a fodder, more like a fodder building than like a fodder unit, but you could call it a fodder unit. And NaDa will see exactly what Huck has, and he does not want to lose this factory right now, just because this factory can be used for precious scouting, just to see the high ground. And it looks like NaDa is just gathering up in the middle, and Huck is trying to chrono boost out his Colossus right now. And looks like Huck is supply block, but not anymore. And Huck has 3 sentries in the army, so they each can use force field once. So if NaDa does not want to engage in this little tight area, if he engages in the tight area and Huck force fields correctly, separate NaDa's army again in half, NaDa will definitely lose this battle. And you can see in the middle, NaDa is doing the exact same thing what Huck is doing, spreading his army out in the concave formation, just so that the Colossus cannot do splash damage against one of his army. But looks like Huck is moving out of his Colossus just to get some early shots in right now. And the thermal lance upgrade is complete, so they do get the extra range on the Colossus, which will be very hard for the Marauders to snipe, just because they can go back on the ledge and this is what Huck is doing right now. And NaDa is trying to snipe the Colossus, and he does not snipe the Colossus. And Huck has 3 Colossus on the field right now, and NaDa is able to bring this Colossus down half-life, but with the fast regeneration of the energy shield, Huck can definitely keep this. If Huck can keep these 3 Colossus alive, which will be the deciding factor against this army right now. And it looks like NaDa knows that his army is not ready to engage Huck's army at the moment, especially with the 3 Colossus on the field. They can just melt these Marauders and Marines. And it looks like NaDa has his expansion up, so we'll see what NaDa decides to do. And Huck is going to be pushing out, and Huck is going for the expansion right now. And NaDa already lifted his expansion. He does not want that expansion destroyed. And Huck saw NaDa's army coming, and he is pushing out with his army. And you can see Huck's micro is extremely good. He's just moving his Colossus just in range to kind of hit the Terran army, but not enough for the Terran Marauders to snipe Huck's army. And Huck is using all his stalkers to try to kill off this expansion right now. And NaDa knows he's got really no chance right now at the moment. He's got to make a push right now. It's all or nothing, and he decides to push. But all these Marauders are stuck in this one area, and he GG's right away without even playing out his entire army. But as you can see, his expansion was taken out by Huck's stalker army. So NaDa knows that he did not have a chance, especially with all these stalkers and this other half of Huck's army killing off the rest of NaDa's army. He's got no chance of winning, so he GG's out, and we have Huck the winner. And I'll leave you guys to decide if this is the real NaDa or just someone taking the NaDa name. So I hope you guys enjoyed this cast, and I will be continuing casting the rest of Huck's series of games. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Dim Sum StarCraft rolling out.